I can't hear her. When she gets on here, just give me a clip.
All right, we are live. Come on through our live shot, Facebook Live. You can duck if you don't want to be on it. This is Kimberly Halkett here on Al Jazeera, and come on through. We're live. We're hot. It's okay. Hi, nice to see you. All right, as you can see from the opening, a busy, busy place. Lots of our friends and colleagues here on the media stand. It's not just Al Jazeera's stand on Inauguration Day. We have some of our network friends, local news, national news, because everybody's covering the big day. This is a key focal point. I want to say welcome, first of all, everyone who is watching us here on Facebook Live. I'm Kimberly Halkett. We had what we call a hard opening there. Let me explain what's going on behind me. This is the parade route, and my photographer, Kevin, is going to give you a little bit of a sense. Kevin, you sort of show the scene and I'll describe, but basically what we've got going on here is stage 2 of the day, of the inauguration day, of the swearing-in ceremony. That has already taken place. Donald Trump is now the President of the United States, and now what is going to happen is that he's having lunch. And then shortly, he will be parading down here, as is a long-standing tradition. Please go through. We're going to be up for a while. Long-standing tradition of the peaceful transfer of power. It is a celebration of that. And typically what happens is the president and the vice president will get in their motorcade. They will start to come down Pennsylvania Avenue. It's about a mile and a half to the White House, and behind them will be members of the armed forces, all branches of the armed forces. They'll also be flying over, and it's an opportunity for the United States to show the world how it transfers democracy from one administration to the next. And so that is what's going to be taking place. You can see some of the people who have been participating, watching the swearing in. They are starting to go in buses back to the White House, and soon this will be a parade route in just about an hour or so. And that, again, will be about 8,000 participants. Apparently, some of the police parading through, getting a bit of an applause from the crowd as well. I'm going to take you down to the stands, if you will, where a lot of the Trump supporters are congregated, to talk to a few folks about why they came and why they wanted to sort of cheer on Donald Trump as he took that swearing in. So bear with me. We're going to take a little walk down here. This is a high secure area, and I want to point out a couple of things. Make sure Kevin's with me here. This is an area that is open to both Trump supporters and perhaps Hillary Clinton supporters. I'm going to just move over here. Hi, folks. I just want to let you know we're doing a Facebook Live. Can you see me? All right. So you're going to have people who are happy about Donald Trump in the White House and those that are not. And I want to invite you, too, as we're talking to folks here, feel free to chime in, give us your questions and give us your opinions, and we can perhaps put those to some of the folks that we're talking to. In fact, I'm going to try, excuse me, hey, we're doing a Facebook Live. I wonder if you might be able to talk to us a little bit about why you're here today. We're just sort of talking to people about why they came to the swearing in.
I'm like the worst one to talk to about this. I went to American University. I was never really political, so I said, why don't you, even though I didn't vote for him, come down anyway to see how it is.
And what about, oh, first of all, let's get your name.
Denise.
Denise. And are you from Washington, D.C.?
New York.
New York, okay. You didn't vote for him, so why did you want to come down? Just to see it because this is part of democracy?
And also, we have to have a smooth transition. It starts with people like me.
Agreed.
I want to hear you're nodding your head there. Agreed.
Yeah, I'm from here. We were actually talking about this earlier today. When you're born around this area, you're
I'm going to come this way so that my crowd can
No
see
worries.
you. You stay where you are.
No worries.
I just want everyone to be able to see your face. Okay.
when you're born here, you're kind of incensed with the political history. And I've been to a lot of inaugurations. I come every year, regardless of who is in power, Republicans, Democrats. Yeah, we came down here. She didn't vote for Trump. I voted for him.
And interesting. So you're friends?
We just met today, and we are having a blast. We're actually going over to Arlington to get some food and beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is pretty awesome. Okay, so Kevin, I don't know if you can hear what's going on here, but we've got a Trump supporter and a Hillary Clinton supporter. Okay. they met on the metro on the way down, and they're showing how it's done, in essence. This is one of the themes of the 45th president's message, and that was uniting the country. It seems you two are leading by example.
We are dating for the next 4 hours while we hang out. Yes. It's my new
we're
girlfriend
dating.
right now.
How easy do you think it'll be for the rest of the country, though? It's a divided country.
It's going to be very hard.
It's going to be
Very, very hard.
And why do you think that is?
Because they're so fixated. We
And
actually
he did
talked.
not win the popular vote. That's the main thing. That's what people upset. He did not win the popular
That's
vote.
one element of it. But I think people are so fixated on that they didn't win. They can't get past that. We need to get past that. I literally have voted Perot, Clinton, Gore, Kerry, Obama twice, but I did vote for Trump this time. It's
a divided under race, under gender.
Aisle, you know, so.
All right. Well, you're certainly an example to all of us, and good luck to you. Enjoy the festivities. I'm working.
And have some beers.
Maybe not. No. All right.
I'll buy you your first one, all right?
Anyway, you guys enjoy your celebrations. Thanks so much for talking to Al Jazeera. I just.
Frank.
This is my producer, James Hamilton. I want to introduce you here. Okay, James, who have we got here?
I'm James. I'm James. You're Kimberly. Frank, where are you from?
I'm from New Orleans.
New Orleans. You look like you might be from New Orleans. Talk to Kimberly about why.
Hey, how are you?
Awesome. And I'm going to just turn around here so that my cameraman, who's way up there,
Okay.
he can see your face. Perfect. Okay. So we've got a couple of questions. One question here is, if you notice these stands here, Kevin, you might want to pan over to those stands for a second. The stands aren't fully occupied, and I'm wondering, you are a Trump supporter, is that correct?
Yes,
okay.
I am.
Well, what do you think might have to do with that? Is it the distance? So many of those who supported Donald Trump are in Middle America, and it's an expensive trip. What do you think might be the reason?
I think they're satisfied because if they elected to support and vote, they didn't have any reason to come here to celebrate it. I mean, at the same time, I recognize people that are here. Let's say that the protesters, which, yes, there's a fair amount of them here, but at the same time, there's billion people around the world are watching this as well, and they're watching it because they are excited for that. We're talking about America, but in turn, America really drives the world. I've been very fortunate that I have traversed this world. I've been to China over a dozen times and stuff. And while Trump says all this make America great things, if we don't stand up for ourselves, our country will be slipping and slipping more. And we all have our own reasons for either support or dissupport. But to go back to your thing here, I don't think it's a matter of to be expecting people here because they already got what they wanted. Their leader has been, in fact, voted in. Quite frankly, while I was not the biggest fan of the Obama administration, so that I recognized it, and I didn't come up here. I didn't do anything disgusting or that. Quite frankly, if you ask me, with the protesters here, you know, there's a lot of vulgarity being shared here. And
Well, I should jump in there for a second. I will say that even I had some difficulty getting to, in fact, I tweeted about this. I had difficulty getting to my spot as a reporter. A little bit of physical pushing and shoving. There was certainly a concerted effort to keep people from attending. And in fact, stick with me here because it looks like not a Trump supporter behind me. She's got a flag here that says, "Not my president, Trump, love Trump's hate." What's your name?
Hi, I'm Kimberly.
Oh, Kimberly, nice to meet you. I'm Kimberly also. So we've got a Trump supporter and Hillary Clinton supporter?
Yes.
Okay. One of the great things about the United States is freedom of expression, the right to protest. I think we all embrace those freedoms and the ability to sort of agree to disagree, would you say?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. How is it for you today being here?
Just the backlash of having this sign, I think, is really interesting because I've been called a loser and a sore loser, and get over it and just give him a chance. And I'm 17, so I wasn't able to vote, so I'm here because I want to protest and have a voice here. And today I have not been very well accepted, especially in areas where there's not as many protesters.
Well, I think indeed you would probably find your experience has been what your experience has been. We're in a divided America right now, would you say?
Yes, and I totally accept freedom of choice, and everyone has their political opinion, but just when it comes to people that disregard complete races or just their policies don't take into account that other people are human beings, it's not okay. We have to stand up.
can I ask a question? Like you said you've been backlash and stuff of that. People say, "Oh wow, how cool I am! I just happen to dress like an American." Do you believe that maybe each of us should give each other common mutual respect without having to offend one another? I actually date a liberal, okay, who very much, that's why she's not
It happens
here.
in Washington a lot.
It's kind of fun. And you know what? She has her right, I have mine, and that's okay, but we don't do anything intentionally to harm one another. And as a parent and stuff, and I see some of these signs around here, I will say this, and I don't understand, why is there so much vulgarity on the opposition side? Why isn't it done in a respectful way? That's what I don't understand, because that's actually, they always saying it said love trumps hate, but in actuality, if you viewed the majority of the signs, all the signs on the other side, it's actually all promoting hate, which I don't understand. It's not contradictory to what they're actually trying to get out.
I understand that there might be a contradiction there. It's just difficult when the person that people are supporting Trump, he has been hateful and he has been aggressive towards minorities and people that are being suppressed. And while these people may seem angry, I think you're taking angry people and saying that they have hatred, but they're really just angry, and we're allowed to be angry at someone who has been hateful towards us.
Let me jump in here for a second. Okay, sure. One
important thing, and I totally appreciate that. However, this is something I actually saw on CNN before we came out here. Trump actually arrived in a presidential limousine without the presidential emblem. It actually was a round circle. You could tell they were going to be installing it. And the reason that was, at that point in time, he had not assumed the office of the president.
Okay, let me jump in here about just one thing for both of you. My viewers are very interested in this debate back and forth, and they like how respectful everyone is being to one another. And there's a question from Muhammad Abdi. He says, "My American dream is dead. What do you both say to those who used to believe in the American dream?" I'll start with you, sir.
First off, it's hard for me to even reply to that because I don't know what his dream was. However, I will say, because I do a lot of social work and stuff. A lot of people think it's all about them and that it's their country and stuff like that. It's all of our countries. And that's and at the end of the day, it's the majority rules, and also it's our elected politicians. So I don't know what Mohammed's thing is, and quite frankly, I will tell you this prior to us meeting. As my world travels, it's all about capitalization and stimulus to make the economy work, and that's why I'm here as a business person.
Indeed, that is the message of this administration, it seems, is very pro-business. Of course, Donald Trump, many are attracted to his business acumen. Kimberly, what do you think? Muhammad Abdi's question, I'll just say it again, is about the American dream. And what do you say to someone who feels that the American dream is dead?
Well, I'm only 17, so this is my first election where I've been really invested, but I too feel the same way as he does. And I think that a lot of us are feeling like that the American dream is dead, and whatever your American dream is, it doesn't matter that I don't know what it is. We all have our own, and I'm feeling today, being here, that it's gone, and seeing him sworn in. But just know that we're here, and you might not see behind me a lot of protesters, but down that way, more towards the Capitol, there are so many protesters, and they can help you feel more connected, and that the American dream may be dying right now, but it can come back. And
I think we understand everyone has a different view of it. I want to thank you both for talking to us here on Al Jazeera on our Facebook Live, and good luck to you today as you enjoy it. Al Jazeera International. Yeah, nice to meet you. Okay.
I watch it globally.
Awesome.
Okay,
we appreciate every viewer. All right, I just want to continue to remind everyone where we are. I'm Kimberly Halkett, and we're here in what's known actually as Freedom Plaza as we talk about some of the rights and freedoms of American citizens. Certainly some of these folks had the opportunity to share their views, and of course everyone is open to their own interpretation of what that might look like. But again, people having that opportunity to exercise that. We have Trump supporters here. We have Hillary Clinton supporters here, all standing side by side. And again, this is one of the hallmarks of American democracy, is the opportunity to kind of show how the United States sort of tends to pride itself on the peaceful transfer of power, and showing that it can be done even when people have very strong views. This is certainly an election where people were divided along a lot of different lines, along class, along race, along gender. urban and rural. And now the country struggles to come together, even though there are still some of those very strong passions. Again, we were talking a little bit about the stands and how some of them are empty. A few sort of theories about why that might be. It certainly is starting to fill up a little bit now, but this is stark contrast from 2009 when Barack Obama was elected as the first African-American president. That was certainly an historic moment. 1.9 million people attended that inauguration. We expect we'll get about half that number this time. Again, it's got a number of different reasons. I hear my producer, James Hamilton, calling me. I'm going to make my way through the crowd here. Kevin, will you still be able to see me over there? All right. We're going to keep on going through the crowd. See if you can follow me. Oh, all right. Okay. It looks like somebody got a little shy. So, James, you keep working on finding someone else for us to talk to, and I'll keep talking about the comparisons of the 2009 inauguration compared to now. So I have a couple of theories of why I think those stands are empty. One, there was a little bit of hostility at the checkpoint. It wasn't too family friendly. So if you had family, you might have said, you know what, let's just go home, kids. The other thing is the weather. It's terrible out. And it is this divisive election. That certainly hasn't helped either. Now, I've got a question here from Tony Vargas. Which is better, Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act? You know what, Tony? They're the same thing. And that's a little bit confusing. We're with Al Jazeera, and we are live on Facebook right now. And sorry,
my favorite news station. Yes. How you guys doing? All right.
He said Al Jazeera is his favorite news station. Oh, really? We got a pro here. Okay. So we've also got a Trump supporter. It looks like, right, James?
Yes, I am a Trump supporter. Yes. How you guys doing?
Okay. My name's Kimberly. Welcome.
Kimberly.
Welcome to our Facebook Live.
Great.
Where are you from?
From California, Southern California,
Whereabouts in Southern California?
Orange County.
Okay. Typically a Republican stronghold, but
Yes.
not so much in recent years.
It's pretty close. About 50-50 nowadays.
50-50.
Yeah.
Okay. You came a long way.
Sure did. Sure did.
Why did you make?
It's been a long journey. Despite what you hear, perhaps on your news station and others,
Okay.
the truth is finally coming out that this is a movement of people that believe in certain things, certain philosophies, smaller government, less taxes, bringing back our jobs, fair trade, putting the people in this country first beyond other countries. And that's what it's about. It's about philosophies and principles. It's not about the lie in the media. It's not about racism. It's not about all that.
I like to point out at Al Jazeera, we try to tell all angles of a story.
I hope so. I hope you're one of the news stations that starts covering things fairly.
Well, you bring up a very good point. A lot of people really did not trust the media, and in many ways, the media did in the United States get a lot of things wrong about this election. I think there is that effort to try and turn things around. I've got a question from Nasrullah bin Mazi, and he says, we'd like to know what you think about Muslims. I think there's this idea in the United States
Absolutely.
that there's some intolerance, and you're a Trump supporter. Why don't
Absolutely.
you share your thoughts?
I love Muslims. I was born in India. I came here when I was a baby. I'm an immigrant of this country. I came in legally. And I love Muslims. I have lots of Muslim friends. I have lots of Muslim friends that are supporting Trump, in fact. So I love them. And as long as they come in legally, I love them. And I want more of them to come. But we've got to make sure we're not bringing in the wrong kind of people, whether they're Muslim or whatever other ethnicity they are.
It's interesting. I was up in Dearborn, Michigan, which is the largest concentration of Arab Americans in the United States, and they also too seemed very, the majority of them are of Islamic faith, and they too, when I asked them about Donald Trump's plan of extreme vetting, they said they were supportive of it because they don't want to see Islam blamed for anything that happens in the United States. I thought that was an interesting perspective. What's your thought on that?
So I think extreme vetting is fine. I think it's great. I mean, that's what we got to do. I'm not sure if I understood your question exactly.
Well, the question is, a lot of people say that's a very racist policy. You can't screen on the basis of religion. In fact, the Constitution protects freedom of religion.
It's not about screening on the basis of religion. It's about screening on the basis of terror. And you do extreme vetting on anyone that you might suspect, even if it's 0.001%, it might be terror. And that's what it's about.
There's also been sort of talk about a registry, something that's been dialed back by, various members of the potential cabinet in their confirmation hearings. Is that something that disturbed you when you heard about perhaps a Muslim registry?
It never disturbed me because I never thought of it as real. It was just talk the media put out there. There's no registry. We're a fair country. We have no prejudice. We treat everyone equally. That's what it's about.
Rule of law, in other words.
Absolutely.
Here's another question I've got from Saqib. He says, what do you think about any accusations about Russia's involvement in the outcome of this election?
You know, I think it's comical. Russia and many other countries hack elections or hack things to affect elections every
Including
single time.
this country, I've heard in the past.
This country tries to affect other countries. It's normal practice. And it's funny how, because the other party lost this year, that they've made a bigger deal out of it.
We're getting a lot of questions for you. People seem pretty engaged, and thank you. Keep those questions coming, and we'll keep on going here. Alita Weaver is asking, what do you think about the cabinet picks so far? I know one of the criticisms has been a lot of generals, a lot of billionaires. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think you hire on the most qualified people. And unfortunately, or fortunately, how you look at it, some of the most qualified people are very successful people. And success in monetary terms means you might be rich, but that's okay. But this cabinet is very qualified. Even folks that are against Trump, people like Senator John McCain, people like Lindsey Graham, people like Paul Ryan, have praised this cabinet to a wonderful degree. And I think let's just give them some time. Let's see what happens.
We appreciate you giving us your time. We're going to wrap up in just a moment. Thank you so much for your time. But I have one quick Trump supporter I want to introduce. Thank you again, sir. Deontay Johnson. Hi.
Illinois.
You're from Illinois.
Yes.
Trump supporter, clearly. Tell me why you're here and what you want to see from this president, the 45th president of the United States.
Well, I'm here because I've been here. I've been working the campaign since I left Dr. Carson's campaign, and he's resigned. And I'm excited to see him make America great again. I'm excited to see him repeal and replace Obamacare. I'm excited to see the new Supreme Court appointments.
All right, so you're watching very carefully. Well, enjoy the celebration today, sir, and thank you for talking to us here on Al Jazeera. We do appreciate it. Thank you so much. And thank you to you. We appreciate you watching and talking to us as we give you a little sense of the sights and sounds of this Inauguration Day 2017. As you can see, the parade getting set behind me here. This is the parade route. 8,000 participants are going to be marching down Pennsylvania Avenue behind now President Donald Trump and Vice President Mike Pence as they make their way 1.5 miles. Forgive me, my math is bad when it comes to kilometers, which I know we should be using. But it's a bit of a distance, almost a couple of kilometers to the White House, just over there on my left. So I'm going to leave you with Kevin giving you some pictures of what we're seeing around us. Both Trump supporters, Hillary Clinton supporters now trying to set aside their differences and focus on the future. Thanks for watching. I'm Kimberly Halkett. Thanks for joining us here for Al Jazeera's Facebook Live.